Hi everybody, this is Jeff. Just a quick video to go over how I determine resistance and support in a current trend and how I determine where I'm going to set my stop. Let's take a look at 4 or 5 that I have picked out. Alright, the first chart we're going to look at here is for ADP, and you can see that it has been in a nice little trend. And if you bought into this trend at one point, even if you bought into it today, at this candle right here, you would still quite possibly be making a pretty good deal. Let me show you why. First, we'll draw a support line for this trend, and that support line would be roughly in this area. Barring this particular bar here, even if we included that bar, it would make this trend line just a little bit too steep, and I don't think that that is very sustainable. So we'll just kind of ignore that as an anomaly that just kind of got in our way. And I want to show you another trick too, and that is if you go from a daily chart to a 3-day chart, you can definitely see things a little bit differently, and you could actually move your trend line here. And on the free charts program, if you go back to daily, you'll see that that trend line is still there, although offset a little bit, and it still keeps its angle so you can move it back up here. So now, even though you may have bought in today, it's not exactly at the bottom of its current swing in the trend, but it's still not in too bad of a position, because if you put a resistance trend line in, you can see, and if you wanted these to be roughly parallel, you can see that it's kind of in the middle of that particular channel. So even if you bought today, that wouldn't be too bad. And if you want to look at how to set your stops, set up these little crosshairs and you look at today, and where today meets this particular trend line right here at the 35.85 level, that would be where you would want to set your stop if you entered today. Next chart we'll look at is for BIIB, or Biogen IDEC Inc. A risky kind of stock, but look at this recent trend since the beginning of July. It's been doing a pretty good job. Let's take a look at it on a 3-day chart, and wow, is that kind of obvious or what? We're looking at this trend for July. Let's put in our support line for this trend. And there it is. And we are actually at the bottom of support for that trend. We put in our resistance trend line and try to get it roughly parallel to our support trend line. And this is what it looks like on a 3-day chart. We jump over to the daily chart, and there you have it. We are at the bottom of this current channel right now, assuming that this trend will continue. So if you bought in today at this 47.81 level, you would set your stop around 47.21, because if it's going to break this support level here, then probably the trend is going to reverse. I mean, the chances are good that it will. So that's where you would place your stop on this particular stock. Next stock I want to look at is Perfect World Company, which is a Chinese online gaming company. Their symbol's PWRD. Again, it's another stock that I purchased the stock on 7/22 right here, and the plan was to leg in on it. As you can see, it's up to $37 right now, giving me a nice profit right around 7%. I also have a limit order in on this just to sell the stock. I'm always happy to take 6% or 7% in a week. That's fine with me. You'll never see me turning that away. This chart, you'll notice I've drawn my support line here. We'll jump over to a 3-day and see how it looks there. Pretty easy to determine where this line should be. Little explanation about what some of these other lines are. Go back to the daily chart. This is where I have my stop. I made that a red line. And this is my cost basis right here, which is the solid line. And you can see that we're up a little bit above it, and it might be time to bail on this particular one. Alright, so that's about it, but before I sign off, I just wanted to show you a couple of features of free stock charts. First of all, this is an annotation is what I call it, but you can do that over here by just selecting the text and then clicking anywhere on the chart, and then it defaults to note. Just click on that note and you can type anything you want on your chart. You can change the color and you can change the font size. We just click OK. When you don't want to see it anymore or you want to edit it, just click on it again and say remove, and it's gone. And it'll stay on this chart even though this is browser based and server based, because you have a sign in, it's going to remember who you are. So each one of these notes here is similar to that. Also, when you draw a horizontal line, you can just click on it and say edit, and if you want it at an exact price, you can set that here by saying I want to set this at whatever price. You can use the arrows to go up and down, or you can just double click and then type in whatever you want, and you can change the color. This draw in all symbols, I haven't tried it yet, but I would imagine that it's going to put that line on every chart, and I certainly don't want that. So I just say OK here. That's a quick little review of some of the features of free stock charts. And did I mention it was free? You all know I'm into free. So thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.